This is how people get stranded. 1 weak battery, one failed start, and your entire ride is done. Today, we're not just replacing the battery, we're upgrading it. More starting power, more reliability. I'm going to show you exactly how to activate and install it the right way so it actually lasts. Because most people get this part wrong. Hey everyone, before we get into it, welcome back to the channel. So if you're new here, this is SoCal PWC, where we focus on jet ski fishing, upgrades, and maintenance done right. So this was the original battery. Rated about 270 cold cranking amps. It's a little heavy. Ooh. All right, so this is the upgrade. This is a mouthful. It's the Yuasa YTX20HL BS. So it's the exact same size, direct fit, but 310 cold cranking amps. That extra starting power means just stronger cranking when the engine is hot, after sitting or after a long day in the water. So if you run electronics like a fish finder, that added capacity gives you more margin. And when you're offshore, that matters. That little margin matters. Before we activate this battery, let's make sure we have everything we need. Obviously, the new battery and the electrolyte pack inside that comes with it. You need gloves, safety glasses. The reason is the electrolyte inside the battery is sulfuric acid. So you want to protect your hands and protect your eyes. Don't skip that step. You need a small battery charger. This step isn't optional. A brand new battery isn't fully charged. Installing it without charging it first really shortens its life immediately. Use a charger that has like an AGM or motorcycle mode. I think that's what this one has, an AGM mode. The reason for that is you want to charge low and slow. Also, you're going to need a 10mm socket or wrench. That's the standard for most WaveRunner batteries. And this is optional, but smart. A small amount of dielectric grease helps prevent corrosion on your terminals. Also, keep a rag nearby in case of any small drips. Extremely important, the battery ships dry. That means it's not active yet. If you rush the activation process or skip steps, you permanently reduce performance before it ever goes in your ski. Okay, so let's open it up. Instructions, hardware. Set this aside for now. Inside the box, you get the battery itself. Be careful, it's a little heavy. You also get the electrolyte pack. This is what activates the battery. You get the terminal hardware, and you get the permanent sealing strip. This goes on here. This strip is what seals the battery after we fill it. Once this goes in, the battery is permanently sealed. Everything required to activate the battery properly is included in the box. All right, so step one, you're gonna wanna place the battery on a level surface and keep it upright at all times. Super important. We wanna remove this foil strip from the battery ports. At this point, you can discard this. You're not going to need it. Okay, so now we prepare the electrolyte. This container holds the battery acid. Do not squeeze it. Do not puncture it. If you puncture these manually, you're gonna cause uneven filling of that battery. Okay, so let's open this up. Very careful. Okay, so now detach this black sealing strip and set it aside. It's super important later. Once this strip is installed, the battery is sealed for life. Now we're ready to align the container with the fill ports. Now comes the critical step. You're going to want to align the 6 sealed openings with the 6 filler ports. Make sure it's perfectly aligned before pressing down. Make sure it's perfectly aligned before pressing down. Now press straight down with steady pressure until the foil seal breaks. You should see the electrolyte begin flowing immediately. Watch for air bubbles. Those bubbles confirm that the battery is filling properly. At this point, do not tilt the container. Keep it perfectly vertical. If you tilt it, the flow can stop and the battery may not fill evenly. Don't remove the container until it's completely empty. Let it drain naturally. This process takes several minutes. Be patient. Once the container is completely empty, we can remove it. Lift it straight up gently, don't twist it. Now the battery is filled and activated. This strip permanently seals the battery. Align it carefully with the fill ports. Press it in firmly using hand pressure only. And make sure it's fully seated. Do not use tools and do not pry it out later. Once the strip is installed, the battery should never be opened again. There's no need to add water. There's no need to add electrolyte. It's sealed for life. This is where most people get tempted to mess with it later. Don't. So now we wait. So this step is critical. For batteries rated 18 amp hours or higher, like this one, the manufacturer requires you to wait 1 to 2 hours before charging. This allows the electrolyte to fully absorb into the internal plates. If you skip this step and put it straight on the charger, you reduce performance and shorten lifespan. This is a difference between a battery that lasts 1 season and one that lasts several. Be patient, let chemistry do its job. So it's been a couple of hours. The electrolyte has fully absorbed. Now we move to the first charge. This step is not optional. A brand new battery is not fully charged. Connect positive to positive. Connect the negative lead. We're going to go ahead and plug in our charger. If your charger has AGM or motorcycle mode, let's use that. Let the charger complete its full cycle. Don't rush it. Proper initial charging is what maximizes performance and lifespan. Installing a battery without fully charging it is one of the most common mistakes people make. This is going to take a few hours. I'm going to include a picture here of the approximate time of how long it's going to take for your model battery. We're going to let this finish and then install it. Alright, so the battery is now fully charged. If we check this out, this battery charger, it's in the green, so that means it's fully charged and it's in maintenance mode now for AGM style batteries. So that's good. So we can go ahead and unplug that. Unplug that. disconnect the terminals. All right, let me just set this down so I can show you guys one quick trick that I like to do. Learned this in the Navy, changing out batteries and different pieces of equipment, especially in tighter areas. Here's a quick trick. So right now is a good time to put some of this dielectric grease that I like to use. You don't need a lot, just a small dab. Put that on. That's plenty. Put that to the side. And I like to just spread this here. Not a lot. Just in each of these nuts and the 2 bolts. Again, not a lot. I've used this in the previous contacts when I installed the fish finder, so you should be good. That's plenty. So here's my little trick. And I've learned this through a lot of heartache of dropping bolts into tight spaces like gas turbine enclosure. And so here's a little trick I like to use. I like to stage these inside. So I place these and I do that. Right? Basically, you just put them in a couple of turns. So what that does is as you're transporting and fitting these batteries into like tight spaces, if you didn't do this, these bolts typically fall out. There, quick and easy. And so now let's move on to the WaveRunner and let's install it. Okay, so you're going to want to drop the battery into the factory tray. As you can see, it's the same size, factory fit. Make sure it's sitting flat, like it is now, and you're going to want to secure it into the tray. I like to secure it first because later on, you're not going to have a lot of room, and it's a tight fit for these cables. That's the first cable. That second strap is a doozy. So make sure it's sitting flat in the tray and super snug. So you're going to want to connect the positive terminal first. If you have an accessory, like in this case, a fish finder, and you routed it here to your main battery, grab that. Always connect positive first. Make sure it's snug. Loose terminals cause weak starts even with a brand new battery. Now connect the negative. That's it. Fully activated, fully charged, properly installed. All right, moment of truth. That's it. Strong crank, immediate start. That extra curled cranking power makes all the difference. That's the benefit of upgrading the battery and activating it the right way. And that's it. Battery's fully activated, properly charged and installed. If you follow the manufacturer's steps and take your time with the activation and the charging process, this battery should last you several seasons. And upgrading to the 270 cold cranking amps to 310 gives you stronger starts and a little more reliability when you're out in the water. If this video helped you out, drop a comment below and let me know what WaveRunner you're running. I read every comment. And if you're into jet ski fishing, upgrades, and maintenance done right, consider subscribing to the channel. We got a lot more coming.